They are going to lock that one away, so they did need, I guess, some frontline, but we saw this from Longzhu and it didn't work out. I mean, the Nautilus doesn't get enough money to be that tanky threat. However, still will get to that super strong stage. As Spirit's going to find Score. Score puts the Bramble back between them and is now actually going for the battle. They want to try and switch the aggro. Spirit steals it away and Score has to flash, dodges the Q, but no! It doesn't even matter as Spirit just jumps on him with the safeguard. My god, first blood, 1v1. And Freaka Freak's off to a brilliant start. Marin just pressuring Smeb so far away from this minion wave.
Well, he fears that if Smeb is waiting, why not just proxy the wave and take the turret?
Oh my god, so Equalizer clears out that minion wave and that will be the turret falling. This is exactly what you were talking about, but good double stun there with the Slicing Maelstrom. The turret is still alive. The Q lands onto Score though, saving Smeb's life, you have to feel, as Spirit goes back in. But no one is going to die, and the turret falls down, so in the end, it doesn't even matter.
And it was the kick of destiny. It was a sick kick. It actually stopped Rengar mid-flight as they took the turret as well.
Just a little bit too far away.
Timing was good, though. They were shopping, so
yep,
was never going to be a real response as Pawn ignites.
Yeah, and there's the pull. The ignite does go down, like you said, but the shield comes in from Marta just in time. He can at least get himself into the pit. Comes
Pawn's coming as well.
Pawn is making his way around, exactly. Spirit is going to get stunned. No, there's the Equalizer actually just onto Smeb. The Score jumps over to the side. Kuro needs to be careful. The ultimate does pop off, but there is the Assassin's Path and gets himself over the wall. KT unable to find anything. Everything going over to Freaka Freaks. This game, once again, it is Pawn playing
Agreed.
Absolutely fine, as Marin and Spirit are going to catch up with Smeb, who's just trying to clear as many minions as he possibly can before he inevitably dies, and that's the second one for Spirit. Cleaning up here in the early game. They've just no pressure being put on them whatsoever, as now Crow's going to turn up. Pawn throws down the Hemo Plague, the pulls there. Score is going to turn up, as there's a decent amount of damage coming out here. Pawn's just going to utilize it to get his health back. It's going to be okay. Damn it, he's giving away gender. Score and Marin fighting it out as, oh my goodness, Arrow just going to be avoided. That's a goal, actually, from Deft. It picks the gap if Smeb can actually get onto him, but there's the Lightning Rush. He wants to try and close this distance, but no. Pawn turns up late. So Kramer is there. Whoa, the flash for flash. The curtain call's not going to be able to find Mata.
Talking about Marin as, you know, the player who's impressed him the most, the player with the best attitude. Yeah. To play like he does every time with that much experience tells you that he knows that little difference between overextension and maximization, as maybe we'll get that fight.
Yeah, Pawn's actually flashed his way in. He gets exhausted immediately and kicked back, as I believe the pull is still available. Gets behind his team, is now Score looking to try and jump in on someone, but doesn't actually use it. As Smeb waiting around the side. This is not the same cannon. He's looking to try and kite, as Def playing well and truly at the back. This team fight hasn't properly broken out just yet. Equalizer not quite up. The kick was just used. Kuro's ultimate is down.
I like how the false Gunblade storyline actually happened.
Yeah, I know.
We had a LeBlanc with Gunblade.
Tell it. Oh god, Arrow's going to land though onto Kramer. He's exploding so much damage. He's trying to get something off before he dies, but no, not enough onto Def. What I was expecting to be quite a bloody series, to be honest. Both of these teams have been taking a lot of risks.
They don't
in their
know
game.
KT haven't backed.
Oh god. Marta and Deft are going to turn up. Smeb's going to get in here. He does have Flash and Slicing Maelstrom, remember. Can Score get the steal on this Baron as Marin's taking a lot of damage? Equalizer doesn't do necessarily as much as we were expecting. Score gets in there, but it is going to be smoked away by Spirit. Smeb's in there. Oh my god, KT are tearing them apart. Triple kill there for the Vladimir in the mid lane, and KT going off the arrow. Oh my goodness, that was from downtown, but Kuro, he knows how to move slightly to the right, and he's able to avoid it.
A bit of a sea change here. Atlas that was really well done by KT. They were surprised. The moment that Rengar wrapped around, they were really taken aback.
Yeah, and that's the kind of clever play that you expect from a team with Marta on it, as Pawn taking so much damage to the Inspire just as he pops out.
As we'll hold that thought, because Pawn's really overextended.
Yeah, Thrill of the Hunt is actually used, but Pawn's just dead. Don't know why he used his flash just there, as Kuro's looking to try and chase after Score, both of the invisible, fast-moving guys.
Cannon could teleport.
Center turret is just going to be given up by KT. Marin getting jumped on here by Smeb. Good equalizer placement, though, as Smeb needs to stack up this wit's end. Marin is slowed down as there's the flash. Smeb! Oh, the Zhonya's! Another turret trying to land it, but no! Okay, the Q, not enough damage, of course. This is not AP cannon. Marin survives, and this is the type of battle that you expect between these guys as Smeb teleports out. Oh my, will he die?
No.
Poor Leandres, the fact that it ticks for current health damage makes it ridiculous.
The Deathfire touch does not, though. He
That's
fell to
true.
16 health from that particular dot. You're right, if there was a max HP damage, he would have died there. So Smeb gets away. Teleport is down for no gain, and now Score wants to kill Myron.
Yep, and the arrow's going to land, and Myron is most certainly dead. So that 2-minute cooldown that you were talking about, full effect. If it was on a 25-second cooldown, it would have been fine. But no. It's just running around. Being invisible's fun, I guess. But there's the flash into the dredge lane. They land it. The pick could be real here on to Score. Redemption comes down. Pawn just says, take me instead. It'll be fine as Deft is going to turn up eventually. The arrow does land. Everyone on top of one another, but it's 2 picks, one after the other, and in goes Kuro Smeb with another disengage ultimate here. But Spirit wants to lock him down this time. There's no flash to save him, and a Freaka Freaks, they get the fight that they were looking for.
And this time their priority in terms of fights is super smart. They have to take closest target because they have no way to dive onto Ashe in a normal fight. She should be behind shield.
Oh,
taking this as Mata overextends to recall. Lazy recall won't die.
Nice man trip W. Going to keep himself alive.
Do bring out the minion wave in top, so no time was lost as they burnt down the health bar, and they will just proxy here. Look for double turret. Top lane turret goes down. Mid lane turret goes down.
We're heading very quickly towards that 10,000 gold lead. It is 36 minutes into this game, so we're getting towards that late stage. The Vladimir's at a position that he wants to be in. Smeb's feeling pretty good in a side lane, but the inhibitor is going to fall down for a Freaka Freaks, and they got the team fight they were looking for and transitioned it into exactly what they wanted. And he's going to tear apart Myron, tear apart Kuro. They don't have that big dedicated tank, as now Smeb kiting Spirit around. That's arrow on cooldown now, and remember, it's a larger cooldown.
Equalizer.
Given this build, as the equalizer comes in, Pawn has to go into his pool, but Tucson immediately gets on top of him. Kuro is going to pick up that kill, and Score is immediately going to die afterwards. The curtain call was there, and Myron up in that front line on this Rumble that does so much damage. Oh, there's another flash.
Double
Tucson
flash.
is so aggressive tonight.
They just want to end the game. There's only 4 members of KT. Good wave clear, but they're going to try for it.
Yeah, this
Look at that!
Oh, Deft gets kicked back. Spirit is having the game of his life right now. Smeb's going to die at the same time. A double for Kramer. Nexus turrets are going to be wiped off the map. And in such a strange game, a Freaka take down KT in what feels like just a step-by-step process.
The theme is not necessarily there to fit the Ahri. This is an interesting draft from the Freaka Freaks.
Both bottom lanes, not with a heck of a lot of sustain, as Kuro going down so low. Pawn would have really liked to have a dissonance there as the exhaust is actually used onto Spirit.
Might
but
just
look at
solo
this.
him.
He's getting soloed down, exactly right.
Spirit was like, that minion wave.
That was the most style points hold position I've seen in a long time. That was beautiful to watch.
And then level scaling. We'll think about that in a moment.
That's Kuro in trouble here as Pawn and Score going very aggressive. Oh, there it is. The clockwork wind-up's going to lock that one up, and Pawn grabbing first blood. The Score's reaching around. Meanwhile, there's a battle towards the top side as well, as Score's making his way in. End of the lines are looking good here as Kramer, taking so much damage, does get the flash, and unfortunately Score didn't have a button to press to pick him up on his way out. He's probably feeling fine here in this matchup right now. There's Score. Oh, he's trying to turn it around on Kramer. Good sidestep, but oh my god, Deft's auto attack. And just one more big old button. That's going to be it. Score. Dominant performance so far.
Level 6, Score stuck around, leached experience from the minion wave and just mowed down Kramer. Didn't even bother to heal, knew he would be dead one way or the other. Spirit will stay bot lane, and the greedy draft, Atlas, starting to cost them.
It is, but Kuro's going to weave his way around. It's a 3 versus 2. Deft immediately exhausted. Fantastic charm as Kuro is going to be able to grab this kill. Oh, the Inspire on the Mantra as Spirit gets the kickback onto Score. Doesn't weave it around to try and hit Deft like he was going to, and Smeb gets the solo kill. It is all falling apart for the Freaka Freaks. It's the classic, we need to do something about this Rumble overthink. And it's happened to both teams now as well. As you can see, Smeb, this is called the I'm a harpoon you to death and then burn you down type strategy.
I feel like you've got a name for everything.
It's not a great one, honestly, but yeah, we do.
Not that catchy, but maybe not a back of the box quote, but
yep.
regardless.
You won't find that on a Weet-Bix box. Oh god, Australianisms. Gotta stop.
We're risking alienating some other fans now. Do we talk about Trump to change things?
No!
Okay.
Oh god! Christopher. Please. I'm not even ready. I don't even want to respond to that in any way. Just not going to put my hand into that cookie jar. So.
You did call it a cookie jar. That'd do.
It reminds me of what Lupa always tried to do back in the LPL with the Annie pick.
Against Gnar?
Against Gnar, he's like, no, it's a counter pick.
You know what
Don't
else
worry.
is pretty good against Rumble? Gnar.
Banning it!
Gnar.
Well, that's true.
No one wants to play Gnar in Korea, but everyone's fallen over for the Dr. Mundo Fizz action.
We know that he's got that in him. Is now Tucson and Spirit looking to try and grab Marta here. There's the Q, landing onto Marta, but the Whimsy was a little bit late.
Spirit's flash actually just a couple of seconds away, so couldn't flash himself, and now...
Oh god, Spirit got caught, and there's the last auto attack. Def grabs that kill as Tucson. While growth ain't enough, collateral damage will tear him up, and Kramer, I don't know whether the Culling's even going to be able to help him much at all, as this minion wave crashes down, and the last remaining outer turret will fall in favor of KT, you have to think. I confused myself, obviously. It's Tucson, that's not a face check that you want. Good slow is all over to the side. As Def's able to pick that one up, the headshot after the spells land.
Meanwhile...
Yeah, Scorp just trying to shoot Spirit a little bit. Ace in the hole comes out, but not going to kill him.
Def just building for power. As well, maybe we've reached the point where Smeb needs to be scared.
Yeah, Marin going to get equalized. Smeb discovers that he's not going to win this one and teleports out. That cleaver, he had that one extra point in cooldown reduction. That might have been it.
There's Recon Teemo.
Oh, yeah.
It was one of his release skins.
Well, then maybe that's what I'm getting.
Marin needs to
Score's
run.
going to find Marin. Does have the ultimate running, so not going to take too much damage, but Pawn turns up, gets the slowdown with the dissonance. Meanwhile, Spirit kicks Def back. Oh my god, that was brutal. And a Freak of Freak's going to take the top lane out of turret, so look, Marin buying some time with his overextension. Marin wins again.
That back animation's just
I
amazing.
just love the saxophone.
Jazz bar afterwards?
Absolutely. I couldn't bring my saxophone with me, so I just need to listen to that. Skin as Marin taking a lot of damage, but look at this, keeping himself relatively healthy. I feel like that equalizer might be enough to get rid of him, but what the hell? Just die, Marin! What was that?
That's Dr. Mundo there, Atlas, but they're pushing in on this inhibitor turret.
Yeah, Score taking a lot of damage. His briefcase is starting to hurt. He's still gaining health so quickly. KT will run out of ergs eventually. However, this turret is going to run out of health sooner by the looks of things. Smeb playing very far up. Remember, they don't have a dedicated tank at all on the side of KT. They're relying on staying ahead. Spirit is going to get shielded there, but look at this. The tower taking so much damage. Score just does so much. With Def there as well, standing so far back, and they just lose their inhibitor turret.
I wonder how many pineapples you can fit in a briefcase.
Well, probably not that many. He was robbed. Kuro was robbed on that one. That's a gimme.
Another turret looks to be rolling down. Freaker's wave is minimal, and look at Kuro, he's almost dead.
Yep. That Ace in the Hole's going to come in there as well, and it looks like they're just going to tank up this turret and take it down.
Going to the altar of KT and asking for minion waves, which is kind of what they have to do here. As Marta's caught.
Oh god, the culling coming down as Marta is going to get picked off, and this is what a freaker need. Because if they kill Marta, then KT can't make a Baron play. They can't make any sort of 5v5 pressure play at all. KT looking to try and lock down this inhibitor. See whether they can, because it's still a 1v1 that, Marin in trouble. Sad isn't going to be used as Spirit. Gets dissonance. Pawn just trying to zone away the Lee Sin. Marta in a little bit of trouble. That's a lot of
Kramer
damage.
can't walk up to wave clear. This will be inhibitor over to KT.
Spirit, can you find that sweet kick here at 30 minutes in? Redemption going to be used to heal up KT. Right, Spirit. No more Banshee's Veil. Score. Getting some flanking play coming in here. Marin says, well, there's 4 of you now. Spirit gets a kickback onto Smeb. Can they kill him before the equalizer goes down? But no. Def takes down Spirit. Marin tanking everyone up. Redemption doesn't do too much, but Marin now has to walk down the red carpet. No, he actually doesn't, as the pineapples were placed slightly differently. Marin survives. Felt like that was going to be a definite kill on him, though, as he goes all the way back up to full health.
The armor can only be so much when he's focused on magic resist. Doesn't have any wave clear. That's been the big problem for Freak of Freaks.
This is the brute force. Deft, so healthy, so many shields. Kramer getting poked out as KT. They know how to play these high damage comps when they're ahead. Looking pretty darn good.
Afrika's comp when it comes to initiation is peeling back from objectives, so they need to have vision control over an objective and start it, then peel off, and that's never happened. They've been on emergencies the whole game.
Yeah, speaking of emergencies, that's wild growth that has to be used. Afrika still have to be so careful, as Pawn's just a one-man wrecking crew.
One-man wrecking crew is also a
Referenced as well.
All right, Marin.
Gets in there, Burning Agony's down, but Deft seems to be closed in on as Kramer takes down Pawn. Spirit's in trouble on the back end, but has survived. Deft still alive now, kiting around, but it's a double kill for Kramer. Can Afrika Freaks do it as it's 3 dead? Mata gets charmed as well, and that's going to be the 4th. Afrika Freaks, have they actually figured out a way to make this game their own and get the 2-0 against KT?
They found a way back into the game. Spirit getting access to Pawn. He dies first with Flash, Exhaust, and Ultimate available. Pawn taken down. Score's going to go on a one-man backdoor to at least get an inhibitor down. But this will be Baron almost certainly over to Afrika. Hello. They will lose 2 inhibitors.
Yeah, assuming Score is going to be able to take this one down, so might be able to, as Kuro needs to land this charm. End of the line, not going to be exactly that at all, as Marin's the one to get the chase. And that is going to be Baron buff going to 5 members of Afrika Freaks. And Papa Smithy, we now got a game on our hands.
That was the first team fight we actually saw Afrika get access to, because previously it was basically traps go down, Deft pokes. They eventually take the objective. Spirit, for the first time, got access to the backline, deleted Orianna, really nice auto attack cancels and damage from Kramer. They take down the rest. Elder Dragon's at 4,000. Score's still here.
This could be very dangerous. Oh my god, the equalizer steal comes in! And Elder Dragon now for KT. Kuro wants to get a pick here, desperately lands the charm onto Mata, but
can't use the ultimate.
More.
Can't use the ultimate for damage. May need it for mobility. No flash available.
As this is most definitely just a standoff right now. Marin getting chunked though. Does of course have the ultimate. Can use it, but the inhibitor falls down. Top lane inhib is going to be respawning relatively soon, but now it's super creeps that they have to deal with. Afrika Freaks, they need to find that team fight, and they need to find it so soon. Otherwise, they will have to just desperation go for it. You can see now everyone moving down, but the turret is going to fall. Another shockwave, like you said, already off cooldown. Equalizer doesn't do anything at all, really, as Marin still wanting to fight. Sadism, of course, keeping him healthy, but still needs to do what he can. Kramer, Wild Growth has gone down, but so much damage. Safeguard helps out as well, but 3 inhibitors dead. And KT get all the pressure that they need. Another ace in the hole under Kuro. And the first Nexus turret falls. Smev goes golden. KT now looking to try and get us to this game number 3. Oh god, Deft, the gigantic crit to take down Kuro. And that is going to be it, I swear, as this Nexus turret, the last one remaining, will be looking to go down some lowish health bars on the side of KT, but with the man advantage, they should be able to bring us to game 3. Pawn gets kicked back, and he is going to get taken down. Kramer, remember, is still alive. Smev goes so low, but the Nexus is getting smacked down. Deft wants to take the game, and he does! And we're going to go to game number 3. KT versus Afrika, and look, honestly, it was bound to happen. I'm casting. Has to be 6 games a night. Well, it is the Shen, and that's going to be what KT lock away here, so a lot of pick CC. There it is, the flash from Score as well, lands the Cocoon, and Marin should be falling down. The repel comes in, but Smeb's got enough and grabs the first blood. KT off to a great start.
He uses flash as well, as Marin doesn't live, not enough healing from the Happy Hour passive. Now Graves will feel pressure to make something happen in bot lane.
Well, Deft immediately flashes out of the way of that one. Deadly Flourish, not as deadly when it misses. I like that. Always a Lilac Wolves fan, was I. There's the explosive cast, Smeb. Shadow dashes his way out, but is this going to be enough here as the flash is used? Not actually going to go for the big flash. Goes for the safety flashes. Spirit flashes over. Score shows himself at exactly the right time.
Them being denied is probably pretty damn important given how these mid-game team fights expected to play out as bot lane.
Yeah, Stand United actually coming in as well. They're going for the dive. Kramer does get taunted. Fantastic cocoon. Threads its way forward and score. He's able to lock that one up. Tucson dies as well. It's a double kill for the Elise. Mata with the beautiful bait timing as Spirit comes in, but I don't think he's going to be able to do anything.
Great lane control by Deft and Mata, who haven't necessarily been as massive superstars as we'd have expected, as Marin does steal away the red.
Yep, so that extra healing's going to be helpful, but Score gets the flash cocoon. Marin, oh, he flashes, but in goes Score. The repel's there, and unfortunately not going to be enough. Chaos Storm comes round. Score closes the gap, but that Chaos Storm is going to be enough here. The flash comes down. Pawn wants to flash the wall, is going to do so. There's the shockwave, and he's going to die at the same time. Smeb says, well, I'll taunt him, but you can have that kill, buddy. It's on me.
And Marin doesn't use the explosive cask earlier to just try and disengage the Elise. New flash was up and it would be flashed. But with full information, the advantage was still there for KT as bot lane.
Yeah, there's the flash from Tucson. Oh my goodness, that was the Mad Life Zyra play as Deft is going to die. Spirit grabs the kill. Freak's not with a minion wave. Mata turns up a little bit late.
Smeb has ultimate again.
There's a long way to walk here at the same time, so Pawn he's going to turn up, grab himself a minion wave, and there's the Stand United, so it's two people coming in. Kramer in trouble, and is going to be Smeb that grabs that kill. Pon may have to sacrifice himself. Oh, Willie, as Mata comes in with the shield, but it's not enough. The exhaust comes down. Spirit will die in the end, but Smeb still putting the pressure on Tucson. No way that he can get out of it. And KT's steamroll on the bottom side.
KT are just playing the map better than Afrika can. That's a concern, given that we expect Afrika to do things early, as Kuro's going to take a nice little trade of damage.
Yep, Smeb actually going to flash in front of him as well. They want to get this kill. The cocoon going to be narrowly avoided from Kuro. That saves his life. Beautiful sidestep.
Seems like Ghostblade, most likely one, is Marin.
Nice sombrero there from Pawn, but the explosive cast is going to bring him back out from underneath that turret. Oh god, the collateral damage.
Elegant.
Bunch of work, but yeah, a little bit late on the arrow. As Kramer and Tucson are going to try and grab a turret, and they do so. Top side of the map. Marin will cop an arrow to the face. There's the shockwave as well. A lot of CC to be brought down from KT, but Spirit's found his way into the back line. Score grabs that first kill onto Kuro, so that is a lot of the wave clear gone. A lot of AoE damage as well as Marin looking to finish that one up. Oh my god, Smeb, so much damage there as well. Outer turret falls. It's going to be Deft that grabs the last hit onto that one, and the inner turret should follow suit as well. Massive minion wave here. Moving up as Smeb may want to try and get himself out of the way towards the bottom side, but he's securing a Herald for his team.
Let's trade it for a turret. Smeb's life also would be lovely. No flash on Smeb, but he's very tanky.
He's soaking a Chaos Storm, soaking everything as Spirit. He doesn't want to be tanking that turret, but he's going to be able to pick up that kill. Marin going to do the same thing. Top lane is dead all over the map.
And they just trade off. Don't even bother to kill the Rift Tower, because they're going to take an inner turret and trade for an outer turret.
Yeah. Possibly even more as well, as these minions are still relatively healthy. Curtain Call to try and stop them. But Deft, does he want to throw out an arrow? No, he doesn't actually have that one available.
Not necessary, Atlas. He doesn't have enough damage behind this Curtain Call to be respected.
Oh, he gets cocooned and shockwaved and destroyed here from Score, who's now inside the enemy base at 19 minutes. Repel gets him out. He takes the Plant Express. All just working out here for KT.
In.
What is this? Flashes after him, gets the last auto in. This is the inhibitor turret definitely falling down. Deft completely out of mana, but uses everything that he has to grab everything from Afrika.
And the fun thing is, this is not actually the quintessential Score build. Famously, Score was a tank Elise player. As we'll hold that thought.
Yeah, Deft may be caught out here as the Chaos Storm's going to burn him down. Kuro does grab that kill, but Freaks are melting. My god, that was a lot of damage. It is a trade. It is going to be support for AD carry, but without Deft there, that is bad news and a little bit of a misstep.
Graves damage while you're at it and be in the front line.
Well, Bond's actually forced to flash away here as there's a Stand United. Spirit flashing so aggressively. Not going to find too much more there as the Curtain Call comes down. Tucson grabs it with the Stranglethorns. Now Smeb finds himself on his own. Freaks looking to try and make this a 2-for-0 as Deft throws some arrows over the side. Score's going to turn up. Kramer grabs the kill with the deadly flourish. And Score is now here, but KT turn up a little bit too late. Now just aiming for all of that vision. Smeb split pushing on the bottom side. Has his teleport, has his Stand United.
One aggressive ward for Marin. He pings it. He's going to go for it. Big TP play coming.
Yeah, looking to try and get in there, but there's the arrow. Lands onto Spirit. Looks like KT are going to try and turn this one around, but Marin might get himself in exactly the right position. Massive body slam! And Marin has been able to secure it. Mata will fall next. Freaks demolish KT! It's a double kill for Spirit, and this one's got to be the Baron.
Yeah, Pawn Court coming in, had to be a teleport from Smeb because the Stand United once again wasn't enough of a shield. They turn onto Baron, it's still slow. Elise is alive, but is going to look for the contest. How did all these things happen in a row to make it a line ball game? And now we see another opening up, for now just zoning.
Yeah, arrow's not going to land onto Kramer, so he can keep shooting here. Score has his Guardian Angel done. Marin actually looking to try and secure this as, oh my goodness, Pawn gets knocked back! The Oriana's not going to get anything done! It's Tucson that grabs the kill! And a Freak of Freaks, how do they find these picks exactly when they need to? This inhibitor turret could go down, and KT could find themselves on the ropes.
3 fights in a row for Afrika. More picks would be the game, so KT needs to be defensive. Still hard for Afrika to take this inhibitor, even 5v4.
28 seconds on the clock here for Pawn. Still a lot of time for Freak of Freaks to work with, but those health bars are going lower. Not a massive amount of poke damage to come out of KT, and they are pressured away from the inhibitor. Top lane going down. KT setting themselves up the battle lines. This Ocean Drake.
Note they are fighting for an Ocean Drake with no vision.
Pawn has been caught out, lands the first of the curtain call bullets as Marin gets himself in the right position. There's a flash body slam, gets deft over to the side, and now KT have been broken apart for Marin, the first one to fall down. The Ocean Drake is going to go over to Afrika, but I don't know whether that's going to be the problem here, as Afrika have lost their tank, and KT have managed to find the team fight. Oh my goodness, there's the Wombo combo onto Kuro. Nice redemption, keeps him alive for now. KT not with that many buttons left to try and hold this one, but look at this. Super Creep smacking down the base of KT.
No QSSs at all, no cleanses either from Afrika.
Oh, the arrow is going to land onto Spirit. We'll see whether they can actually get there. Smeb does manage to get the taunt, but Spirit gets himself out of the way. Smeb tanking up most of these shots as the teleport's coming in from Marin. He's going to have his way in here as Score's trying to play off to the side. There's Marin, caught out a little bit here. But he's very, very tanky. Can he get away in time? Oh my goodness, the Drunken Rage is silly.
They reverse sides here. KT will get a redemption off though.
Yep, a lot of health back. Grasping Roots going to be held onto here by Tucson. Can possibly lock down some members of KT. They don't want to stack up though. There's so much AoE on the side of Afrika. The Master Architect, Mata, dropping the ball a little bit when it comes to that bottom lane, but they've got a super creep wave on the top side of the map. Smeb once again gonna find Marin, but the Chaos Storm's there. Smeb may actually fall down. The Chaos Storm isn't gonna be enough. No, the shield's there to help him out as Deft tanks the first bullet. Kramer finds Mata with that one. Has to flash out of the way. And that's gonna be the turret falling. Afrika just with inherent pressure.
The pressure from KT is still slow pushing onto the exposed inhibitor in top, but takes so long that it's not really relevant. Jan has to go back, still has Stand United that was never used in that whole engage, and Freak is still having a relatively poor Baron, means they don't really have a way to punish.
Oh, Marin. Oh, not gonna go for it as Pawn. Oh my god! Massive damage as the redemption isn't enough. Score grabs it with, I believe, a Runic Echoes, gets himself on top, and that's gonna be Spirit taken down. The double kill for the Elise. The Score, the man is going to be able to start the fight and finish it here for KT. The explosive cast more as a celebration here, as Marin will eventually fall down, and that's going to be Mata grabbing that kill. The teleport coming down. Are they going to try and finish the game?
Yeah, that's definitely going to be the series. You'd have to think for KT. One shockwave was the thing that separated the two teams, completely destroying the health bars of two members of Afrika. No way to stand up 2v5, even if it is the victor. Still so hard, but because they don't have minions, they may back away, and wow, we won't actually see the end of the game, just because with no minions even close to the vicinity, safer players take Baron.
They might even just take the leash and look to take this one down themselves.
Now all Afrika can do is hope to reset it, but they don't.
No, not going to happen. And who's going to be able to get the smite here? It is going to be Score. Locks that one down. That is 2 for 2 on the big old monsters on the map. And Afrika, all the initiative on them. They need to be the ones. Oh, wow. Actually, Arrow just going to be thrown out there by Deft.
Doesn't actually buy that many auto attacks onto the turret either, but the minions are helping.
Yep.
Finally broken.
Volatile Spiderling there as well. Actually needs to be respected with this build from Score. Inhibitor taking a lot of damage, and it will be KT grabbing that one. Freak of Freaks are going to concede, as now the Middle turret looking to be the next one to fall down. KT playing this one certainly by the book. As a Freak of Freaks, they can't wait too much longer to try and start this last team fight.
Arrow still on cooldown for a little bit, but they're conceding 3 inhibitors. Our Freak of Freaks.
Marin still taking so much damage. There's the flashes. Marin gets Shockwave back. They're looking for it right now as Smeb gets himself in there. Good redemption. Is going to at least keep a Freak of Freaks somewhat alive, but they've lost their big Gragas in the front line. Now it's looking like they're going to lose their base as KT, after the statement that they made in game number 2 and in the early stages of game number 3, have been able to pull this series back and pick up the win over the Freak Freaks. Finally, the KT that we were expecting, and some smiles on their faces.
Celebrations are for 3rd spot. That's what they secure here.